So we've to and fro with a lot of different ideas over the last few weeks since we secured the land. The tool about style and the technique, also the technique and the longevity of the house that we want to build. One of the things we struggle with here in Bali is a lot of the homes are built with a similar technique, which is just concrete. Everything's concrete, and then these manufactured blocks that they use here. Biggest issue with that is obviously it's a very wet environment here in Bali, so you struggle with rising damp, with mold, and then also obviously following on from that, then it starts to get the deterioration of the actual substrate itself, and the concrete will start to break down, and it becomes a sponge, so it just draws everything up. They don't understand principles of drainage very well, so that adds to it. There's a lot of houses that are built with the wrong orientation in terms of the way that they're designed. They don't ventilate properly, and they just end up getting overgrown with mold. So secondary to that, we've also really struggled with the fact that it's a permanent structure then. Anna and I have always been big fans of a light footprint with anything that we've sort of done in the past when we travel in our van, and when we live anywhere, we try and be as mindful as possible of the environment and the ongoing effects of that. So what we've decided to do is a predominantly steel structure for our house, which will be built on piers, on steel piers, concreted into the ground, have an elevation off the ground of about 400 to 500 millimeters off the ground. Couple of benefits of that being obviously is that the property will not be susceptible to moisture or mold. It'll be able to ventilate exceptionally well. The benefits of steel construction far outweigh the drawbacks of concrete. Per square meter price, we're sort of hoping it'll be a fair bit cheaper. Plus, then also benefit of that being is that we control the entire construction process. We don't bring contractors in. We're building a product in a foreign country, and to try and get the local craftsman or the local tradesman to think a little bit differently in terms of what we want was always going to be a bit of an issue. So being more in control of our own destiny in terms of our overall fit and finished product was always extremely important to Anna and myself. We didn't want to just have another cookie cutter kind of approach to building here, where this is what you get regardless whether you want this or that or anything like that. That's the figure that you're going to get. One of the things that we found with a lot of the Asian countries, not just here but in Sri Lanka and Vietnam and even more so in Malaysia as well, is the attention to detail with what they produce here by local tradesmen leaves a little bit to be desired. So we want to move away from that, where it's not even the 1%ers as I refer to them anymore with some of the stuff that they do, where it's like 10 and 20%ers that are just nowhere near where it needs to be or nowhere near as good as it should be. So we're going to stick our neck out a little bit, try and produce a product that is sustainable. Obviously, looking at it, doing some sums and reading some more information, probably about 90% of the building will be fully recyclable at the end of its service life. That service life should be anywhere between 25 and 30 years if everything goes to plan. We've also going to be using locally available materials as well, low impact as we've said previously. So it's going to be a light structure in terms of the way it's situated. It'll be nice and light, bright and airy, and we will hopefully be able to be in a position where we can then take that to market for people that are looking for an alternative building technique or a finished product to the Balinese market or Indonesian market, probably more so. So yeah, that's where we're at. We've devised a business name already, which we'll release at a later date. we're just looking at the legalities of establishing a business here, but we're going to use our premises or our house as a test case, and then also use that as our promotional product as well. So exciting things to come. It's going to be a hell of a journey, there's no question about that. But it's always a calculated risk with everything that you do in life. This one's probably a little bit pretty ambitious, but at the end of the day, we've got the know-how, the skills to be able to produce something that's going to be quite exceptional, and hopefully be a bit disruptive as well in terms of the building market here in Bali, which we don't have a problem to. We've never shied away from a challenge. So we'll see what happens, and stick around for the journey. It should be a lot of fun.